Hi, welcome back to part 3 in SQL Server Management Studio scripting. My name is Hussein, and we will continue with dropping a database. Similar to the theme that we've been carrying on, we can do this in two ways. So we can either use the Object Explorer or we can use a script. So if we want to delete or drop a particular database itself, we can do it via the Object Explorer, same processes in terms of how we was altering the database itself. We come over to the Object Explorer, we hover over, and then we right click with the mouse and we can delete the database itself. What does that do? This will, if we go to the properties of that particular database, if we go to files, if you remember how we create a database, we get two files. So the MDF, which is the data file, and then the LDF, which is the log files if we wanted to restore to a particular point. So if we delete or drop, these files will also be deleted from the file system. So if we do here, we go to delete, we delete it that way. But what I'm going to show you is how we can use the SQL Server script to actually drop the database itself. So I will drag this first database name, which is the test new. If I run this script on its own and press F5 to run it, it's taking a while just to process, making sure that everything's deleted, and we should get, oh, it's currently being in use. Right. So I'm glad we've come across this problem. So what that means is I have two separate SQL Server instances that are connected to that particular database. So we cannot drop it because in a real life scenario, we might have another developer that is connected to that particular database itself. So we will then use step 2, which is to set that database to a single user mode. This step will make sure that nobody else is connected to that database. We use a command called rollback immediately. So this will disconnect any current connections to that database and roll back any particular changes that anybody's making on that database that we want to drop. So if I was to alter this database and just copy this table name, this database name, and what we're doing here, we're altering the database. The database is the test new. We're setting it to single user because that's what we need to do. We need to have one person in charge of the database before we can make any changes. We roll back any immediate changes that will disperse and take anybody else off. So if we set that, and that non-qualification transactions are being rolled back, estimated rollback completions 100%. That means we should have single user mode on that particular database now. So on the third command, we can then drop the database. So deleting the database, drop database command permanently deletes the database and its data. Is important to ensure to back up if needed. This action cannot be undone. I'll repeat that again. This action cannot be undone because we're going to lose those files. So let's drop that. And the command was completed successfully. The table's still there, but what we need to do is we need to refresh in a similar pattern of how we normally do in an Object Explorer, and that test DB new is no longer there. So that's a quick video just to run you through how you can delete a database, but please make sure if you want to back up those files, the MDF files or the LDF files that you copy them into a new location. Otherwise, that action cannot be undone. I hope that's been clear, and I'll see you on the next video.